Hello and welcome to Nintendo Pals Podcast, your weekly dive into all things Nintendo with a couple of friends. Tonight, we're catching up on a month-long break from the podcast. We had a double direct, bunch of news, and we've been playing a lot of games. So, Micah, what do you say? You ready to start the episode?
Yep.
Greetings, fellow Nintendo Pals. My name is Andros. I am one of the hosts of the Nintendo Pals podcast, and I am joined by my fellow Nintendo Pal and co-host, Micah.
Yep.
And Micah, I always gotta ask, how the heck are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
That's great to hear. So we kind of went on a hiatus, and we didn't really, in the podcast, talk about that we were going to do that. We just kind of did it. So what have you been up to the past month? Or what have we been up to? Why did we go on break?
Well, me, not that much.
Well, you had family in town for a couple weeks, right?
Yeah, but just under 2 weeks.
Yeah. So Micah was gonna have to bail for a couple weeks of the podcast, and all last month, August, was Andros August, where I streamed every day, 24/7. And so it was just like, let's pause on the podcast for a little bit. And while we were gone, we decided we need to make some changes around here. And that is why we are announcing that it is season 6. Woohoo! Yeah. And there'll be some differences with the show. Micah, you want to highlight any of the things particular, and then I can kind of fill in the gaps.
Well, we've decided we'll only talk about interesting things now.
Yeah, we've sort of changed. We're gonna, instead of covering every single news item and every single game that we've been playing, we're actually gonna just completely cut the "What You Playing" segment, and that's just gonna be kind of part of our icebreaker. We'll talk about games we're playing, and maybe if something big comes out that we're both playing, we'll talk about that. And then in the news, we're just gonna talk about the stuff that interests us. So we apologize if we are skipping over your news item that you really wanted us to talk about.
Sorry, Fire Emblem and Xenoblade fans.
Yes. Sorry to... I mean, are you actually sorry?
No.
Yep. Disrespecting Xenoblade and Fire Emblem fans is a returning trope from Micah. In addition to that, we are going to be trying to do something different every single episode. And this episode's something different is a secret to Micah. Micah, do you want to pull your headphones out so I can tell the audience what I'm doing here? I mean, I can still see that they're in. Okay. We are playing... Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, just a little bit.
Okay. Cover him up, like ball him in your hands or something. He's got ear...
Well, I can only hear if I hold them real close.
Oh, man, I just won't say until the end but if you want the audience to know.
What was that?
If you want the audience to know, then you're gonna have to like cover it up so you don't hear.
Well, I can't hear you unless I do this.
Oh, okay. Well, pull him away. All right. We are playing Micah Bingo. So with things that he's saying, and that's this episode's thing. We're good. I told him I'd point to him when it was time to come back.
Well, yeah, you immediately forgot and just started giving me a thumbs up.
Yeah,
That was the signal.
So yeah, so each episode we're gonna try and do something different. This is a little bit inspired by if anybody's out there has seen Game Changer, where their game show is different every single time, and so we'll have some different different like main focus for the episode. So this one will be fun because Micah has no idea what that main focus is,
Yeah, because I
and it
totally
doesn't really
hear
matter
you.
to the content to the content of the episode anyway. I made it that way on purpose. Yeah, yeah. Uh, Speaking of yeah, Micah, that sound is trending on TikTok right now.
Really?
Yes,
A good
they're
one.
like, oh, you could just throw water if you start to get worried. You can just throw water on me. Yeah, yeah, and people are just like captioning that sound clip. It is awesome. Gravity Falls, let's go. Micah and I are fans.
Mhm.
Uh, so I guess since we're kind of still in icebreaker mode, let me do a little bit of housekeeping here. First off, if you're listening, you're brand new around here, and you haven't already, leave us a 5-star review on your podcast listening app of choice. That's on Spotify, Audible, Apple Podcasts, and some other spots. You can leave us a 5-star review. We give shout outs to people that give us 5-star reviews at the start of every episode. And it helps us to take over the world. And that's our goal, to take over the world. And you can help us do that. You can also help us out by joining up on our Patreon, and links to all of this stuff are in the description of the episode. While I am checking real quick if we have any new reviews, Micah, any new games you want to talk about you've been playing?
Hmm. Hmm. I think the newest game I've played was NES Championship, World Championship NES Edition.
Yeah, which came out while we were on break, or did it come out before? It
I
came
think it
out.
came out before.
We've been going
But
for about a month.
I haven't done my weekly challenges yet. I just realized I gotta
Oh
do those
no,
tonight.
I also haven't done my weekly challenges. But how did you do for last week's?
Not great. I think I was mostly like top 20, top 30% in one. But
I
those
feel
are
like
rookie numbers.
I feel like I did look at those. I'm
Let's see
pulling
what
mine
you're
up
saying.
right now just to so we can compare. Because Micah and I have been competing behind the scenes on these. Because
Except
it's
we didn't converse about our times this time.
okay. So subspace exploration, what'd you get?
8,239.
9,552. I got a time of 3 seconds, 91, 3.91.
Cool. I got 3.88.
Oh, sorry, not that far off at all. Shoot.
Like 1,000 difference
Yeah.
for
And that
0.03
that
seconds.
challenge for the listeners, that was Super Mario 2. You have to throw the secret door and go into the door. That's it. The
And
next.
grab the mushroom.
Oh, did you have to grab the mushroom? Okay.
Yeah.
The next one was Cool It, and that's from Excite Bike, and I think that was just do a lap or
Yeah, something like that.
reach the finish
The
line.
shortest one, essentially.
My time on that was 10:45.
10:43.
Oh my gosh, you're kidding. So close.
What was your number? I wonder what the difference is on that one.
7,157.
6,266.
Shoot, so like 1,000 people in between us. That's crazy. The next one was Curtain Call Larry, and that's Mario Bros. 3 Defeat Larry. I feel like I did decent on this one, but I didn't on none of these. I didn't really push that
Like
crazy.
really maximize it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I got what I felt like a pretty good time and then called it good enough.
What was your time on that one?
I got 9:12.
9:46.
Oh, okay, I lied. Mine was actually 943.
Oh, no way. Oh my
It's
gosh.
still-
How have you beat me by 0.03 in every single category? What? Did
it's
you
so
hack my
funny.
system? You just-
Yeah, your wife was slipping me the times, and I made sure to beat them by only 0.03 on every single one.
Oh, that's so funny. My ranking on that one was 4,205.
Okay, 3785, so not quite as big of a gap.
Okay. Now this is the one that I
I don't
feel
I was like,
potentially the
I
most
think
confident.
these next two you'll probably beat me on.
So the next one was In the Zone, and I think this is just beat level 2. Uh,
Level 2. You gotta like warp pipe or something.
yeah, that's
Is
it.
that level 2? Is that just 1, 2?
Yep.
I mean, I guess it's essentially beating level 2, but you have
It,
to beat it the right way.
yeah, you have to beat it through the warp pipe. I got top 7%,
Ooh,
and my
that
ranking
doesn't bode
is
well for me.
1546.
Bummer.
Did I beat you on that one?
You did.
I got a
I knew I should have done it more.
23.73. It's my overall time.
Do they show your run?
Yeah, when you're clicking into it. Hmm.
Oh man. I definitely could have done better.
Yeah, I got
This is
34th
depressing.
for my birth year,
I
which is
got
pretty good.
24.18, but I clearly just ran into a pipe and then had to jump over it at one point. And
Oh,
just
so you
like,
just didn't you
fuck.
didn't optimize it at all. Right.
I really could have done better on that.
Okay, well, at least I didn't get beat by 0.03. That would have been wouldn't that, I would have had to give you props there. Uh, for sure.
And I think for the Legend of Zelda Labyrinth champion, I feel like I did this one like twice or something because I probably went the wrong way one
I
time.
I did not like this one.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this
It
one.
was
I
too
did mine
long.
in yeah, in 1 minute and 29.7.
1 minute 29.9.
Oh, that's really unfortunate.
That's so oh my gosh. What? What? Dang, how
That's
are
so
we so
funny.
close on all of these? Well, the overall win goes to you
I was like,
out of that week's challenges.
although if you add up all the time that I beat you by, it's less than the time that you beat me by and the one that you beat me on.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
But I am known for being lazy and doing the bare minimum needed.
Unless you have someone to compete with, then you do the bare minimum needed to
Well,
beat that person.
exactly. I just telepathically
Yeah.
divined your times.
Yeah.
Something got a little lost during the Mario one, but whatevs.
Yeah, so NES World Championships is really the only new thing I've been playing. I played a lot of Tears of the Kingdom over the summer break for my stream.
I guess technically I played a little bit of that as well. But
Yeah,
in
through
chat,
my stream. Anything else you played over the break?
uh, nothing exciting. Just the usual 3.
The usual 3.
Yeah, I figured I was probably forgetting one. Splatoon, Rocket League, there's probably something else.
I Besides that, I can't think of anything else that you regularly play. We played Lethal Company together quite a bit,
See, that's the third.
but that's not a Nintendo title. It was a lot
But
of
we
fun.
did get the new weather condition. That's very rare.
Yeah, we did, and we got. Oh, you weren't there for that. I found a new item. It has a 0.07% chance of spawning.
Dang.
And
Is it
it's a
worth a lot?
little. No, it was worth 50. It's a little toy dog, and it's called the Z dog, and the Z dog is a reference to the musician who wrote a lot of the music, including the disco track, which we love.
Which is the best one.
You can buy a disco ball for your ship, and it's awesome. Yeah, that's really been the highlights of what I've been playing. I did download Deltarune for a challenge, but I played literally like 10 minutes of it without reading any dialogue because I was trying to speed run it, like blind speed run. It looks fun. Looks like a good one that I'll have to check out more fully for sure. Oh, I also like fired up and played a bunch of Fall Guys randomly because I was just like,
Yeah, it's been a while.
I was listening to a music playlist and the music from it came on, and I was like, oh, I kind of want to play some. That's a fun one. We should play some more of that. That might be a fun one to play while podcasting, maybe for one of our themed podcasts. We play Fall Guys while podcasting. But anywho, that's what I've been up to. Anything else you've were up to over the break? You've gotten into shape. It's pretty much
Almost.
ripped. It's pretty much ripped now.
Something almost like that happened, but not so much.
I started training for a half marathon.
Nice. You're running like 20 miles a day now, right?
I ran 3 miles yesterday. It took me about 45 minutes.
Nice.
I was dead. I felt so tired. But it felt good to get it done. So I'm looking forward.
It felt good when it ended. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to
running's a fun thing.
To accomplishing the task. Yeah, but I don't really have a fun way to exercise. I don't really enjoy any exercise, so I might as well just do the one that's easiest, which is running on a treadmill for 30
That's like
minutes
the
per
worst
day.
exercise.
Yeah, I'm hoping it helps. Hoping it helps me feel healthier. It's I feel good doing it, so that's what it's about, right? I feel like there was something else I was like, oh, I should definitely talk about this on the podcast, but I can't remember what it is. So maybe we just jump over to the next segment of our show, which is the news. Talking the news next. Nintendo news.
Question?
Yeah, it was a question. We're very professional over here. Micah, it's been a month, and there's been a lot of stuff dropped. But I think probably the most important thing that's dropped that we haven't talked about, and I'm excited to talk about, is the Double Direct. We had a Nintendo Indie Partner Showcase and no, not an Indie Partner Showcase. It's called the Indie World Showcase, and then a Nintendo Partner Showcase, Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase. So no first party Nintendo anything, but 2 separate presentations that were mashed together for one presentation because they happened back to back, but they were treated as separate things.
Separate, yeah. It's kind of interesting.
It is kind of interesting. Never before done, never before seen, and potentially never seen again. Will they do this again? It was weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if they're like, I feel like there's not quite enough content in either one of these. So we'll just stick them together.
I felt like both were pretty full.
It seemed like there were quite a few things in it, though. Yeah.
I wonder if their partner showcases aren't getting enough views by comparison to their regular directs, and so they tacked it onto the indie showcase because that does get a lot of views. I don't know, or vice versa, maybe. But I feel like the indie world showcase always gets a ton of positive feedback. So I guess we'll kind of run through this list here. First up, they showed the first up was the Indie Direct, the Indie World Showcase. And in the Indie World Showcase, I went in to this presentation. I said, the Indie World Showcase is going to be better. That's my prediction. And someone in the chat said, nah, the partner showcase is actually pretty good. It's like, okay, all right, sweet. That's good to hear because I watched it late. And
You watch it live?
I did
Wow.
not. I
Some
was.
people.
Did you watch it live?
I actually don't remember. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you
be
watched it
honest.
before I did.
I don't think
I
I did
messaged
watch
you.
it
I was
live
like,
because
"Hey,
it was
do you want to
probably
watch it?"
real
You're like,
early
"Oh,
in
I've
the
already
morning.
seen it."
I
So
think I watched it when I got up.
first up we had Balatro, and it's a free DLC for the game, and it basically put in like character cards, I guess, for different games. Um, Crossover with Dave the Diver, Among Us.
I'm
Uh,
familiar with The Witcher 3. I
yeah,
think
yeah,
wasn't that
Witcher
also
3 and Vampire
it seemed a
Survivors.
little wild.
Witcher 3 was definitely the biggest out of those titles, but yeah, it was kind of fun. I like it, and I definitely want to pick up Balatro. And I know you have this game.
Yeah, it's a fun one for sure. I'm not 100% sure if this is like just a cosmetic. Looks like it's just cosmetic. I'm trying to remember how to
Yeah,
customize
I
stuff.
couldn't I couldn't tell based off the trailer if it was just cosmetic or if there was something else.
Oh, I only see the Witcher deck for some reason.
You haven't unlocked the other ones yet.
Oh, wait a
Maybe.
second. No, they're all what? Okay, this is not the way I thought it would be. All the spades you can swap to Witcher cards, and then the hearts can be swapped to the Among Us. Clubs can be Vampire Survivor,
Oh,
and then diamonds can
oh.
be Dave the Diver. I thought they were like full decks that you swapped out.
So there must be
But
some
yeah, it's
story
just
element
all
there then, because that's kind of light. for
yeah, it's just all cosmetic, I think. But they have big plans in the future, I've heard.
Cool.
I don't remember what those plans are though.
Well, you want to hit us with the next one, Micah? What's the next one on the list?
Are we going through all the games or just the interesting games?
Just the games that seem interesting to you. I was interested in the next one on the list somewhat.
Never?
Never.
No?
I'm never gonna be interested. Yeah, it's by the makers of Gris, and it just looked very,
Oh yeah.
very artistic and very pretty, like a playable painting. Um, I don't remember much about Moth Cubit. It's the like this was the one that looked very weird, right?
Maybe. I'm
Uh,
gonna be more. I don't remember most of
okay. Well, Coffee Talk Tokyo was pretty cool.
actually Moth Cubit did look kind of cool. Now that I'm looking at it again to remind myself.
Now that you're remembering what it was like.
Yeah.
Coffee Talk Tokyo was cool. I liked that one. But I'm interested to hear your thoughts on the Sea of Stars, Throes of the Watchmaker DLC.
Yeah, that's definitely the one I'm most excited about. Especially because turns out it's going to be free, which I did not know.
Oh yeah, yep, free DLC
So that's always cool.
and a new character, which is gonna be like a robot guy. So it's very Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, Artie. And apparently it'll support the upcoming local co-op mode, which I missed when I first watched this.
Oh,
So that'll be cool.
I didn't notice that either. That's cool. That is cool. Um, so this like changes up the characters and like how you're gonna play the game, right? They're like looks like the one
I
becomes like
think
a
it's like,
juggler.
oh yeah, Zale transforms into a juggler. Valir will dazzle and as an acrobat. But I think this is like a separate kind of area, I assume. So I think it's just for when you're doing that part.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
Well, very cool. Big update for a pretty big game, and it's free. Speaking of update for a big game, that I don't think this is free. This is paid DLC. You can do Power Wash Simulator in Shrek's Swamp. That's right. Power Wash Shrek Swamp. And the Dragon's Lair from Shrek. So it's just Shrek crossover. I'm sure you're really looking forward to this as a proud owner of Power Wash
So
Simulator.
excited. Actually, I don't think I am an owner. I got Game Pass for $1 that 1 month.
And then you used it to play Power Wash Simulator. Okay.
And then and then I was extorted into playing Power Wash Simulator. My goodness. Power Wash Simulator.
You were extorted into playing it.
That's right.
What do you mean? Someone paid you to do it, or held you?
You know what I mean.
I don't know what you mean. Okay, this next one on the list. I know we're not going through everything on the list. Morsels is what I was thinking of for the Moth Cubit. So Moth Cubit is something completely different than what I'm remembering.
Yeah, this one also seemed pretty interesting to me.
Morsels looked so weird.
Yeah, they got some real weird stuff happening in this trailer I'd forgotten about.
I can't tell what this game is going to be about at all.
I don't fully understand. Yeah. Top down, isometric. That part just looked like totally different animation.
Yep.
But looks fun.
Yeah. Looks interesting. Here's one that I'm excited for, Micah. Date everything. I think that's very funny. I think it's. What did you think of Doug?
I don't remember Doug.
Oh man, go to the 35-second mark in the trailer.
Oh yeah, very ripped.
Your existential sense of dread.
Head. Your overwhelming sense of existential dread.
You can date your overwhelming sense of existential
my
dread.
homies call me Doug.
My homies.
It's just like, what was that other game? Was it Boyfriend Dungeon or something? Where
Boyfriend Dungeon
or weapon or whatever.
This one just takes
the same vibes as that.
This one just takes the medium and just pushes it to the absolute ridiculous level of. You want to date a shelf? Do you want to date your existential sense of dread? Also, why is he ripped? Is it because he's like?
Because it gets a good workout. You thinking about it all the time.
Yeah. I know we're not. I know I said like, let's just talk about ones we're interested in.
Yeah, I think we skipped like one.
I'm interested in Peglin.
Yeah, that one does look fun.
I like Peggle on the PC. So Peglin is like an RPG of that. So that's pretty cool. And then I'm good to skip.
So what did you feel about Wobbly Life?
I didn't feel anything about Wobbly Life. I don't remember this at all.
What? It's like Human Fall Flat, but different, but mostly kind of the same. Definitely gives Human Fall Flat vibes.
Yeah. Wasn't particularly interested in that one. I don't remember them showing the Shovel Knight Shovel of Hope DX. What is this?
It's an enhanced edition of the action platforming classic, now with 20 playable characters, seamless online multiplayer, and other new features.
Oh shoot! Are we getting this? Me and you? Are we gonna play through all of the? Is it just the first? Is it just the first game?
It's a good question. I mean, it says with 20 playable characters. That's a lot. So I'm not quite sure. I only remember playing as like 5 on the one I had.
Yeah.
But
well, it kind of looks like you're playing. You can play the different playable characters through whatever the. I don't remember any of this though. Huh. Okay, well, I may be picking that one up.
Wow.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't played Shovel Knight, I would probably highly recommend this.
Yeah, Well, if you want to, I mean, you can get the original as well. It's great, but this one looks like it's going to have online co-op play, which will be pretty fun.
Yeah.
Anything else from the list that you want to highlight?
I mean, they finally have their release date trailer for Plucky Squire.
Yeah, that's coming out here next week. Pretty quick, actually. Not this week, but
Yeah, the 17th.
Yep.
I know a lot of people that are excited about that one.
I'm excited about this one. It looks really fun. Hopefully, it lives up to the hype it's built up based off the trailers.
Yeah, might be kind of hard to do, but
I don't know. It looks like. I mean, I'm not expecting it to be the next, like, Breath of the Wild. You know, I'm, but I'm expecting it to be pretty fun, Zelda-like. Yeah. And then I also am interested in picking up Pizza Tower, but I will wait for it to be on a sale of some kind, probably.
yeah, I hate to judge a game by its artwork, but I do not jive with the way this game looks. I don't know what it is about it really, but I've heard only good things about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's I've heard nothing but good things about it, but I also am a bit off put by the art style for whatever reason. Looks like the entire game was made in Microsoft Paint.
Yeah.
And it's a stylistic choice. So overall, what would you give this indie partner showcase?
I mean, I don't know if there's anything I will actually be picking up that isn't free. So if I feel like I can't rate it too high, but there's the Moth, Cubit, and Morsels, which seemed interesting. And I guess the Peglin also seemed interesting because it also seemed like it'd be kind of cheap. Which instantly makes games a little more interesting. Those, if I was going to pick up something, it'd probably be one of those three.
There wasn't anything in here that I didn't like. There was stuff that I didn't care about, but nothing that was like, oh, that's bad. Like, why is that here?
Yeah, I did skim through a few of these.
But I think I think overall I give this like a solid like B plus. Direct. It had a little something for everybody, a good variety of things announced, and yeah. Foreshadowing a bit here, I don't feel as strongly about the partner showcase. B plus is gonna be fighting for that B plus if I give it that. But yeah, so it rolled right on into the partner showcase,
I
and
thought we were just skipping the whole partner showcase because there's nothing interesting in it.
Micah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I got vocally angry in my live reaction to this. And it was kind of in jest, but it's like also serious. That there was hardly anything new in this. This was all repackages of old games and collections, which is fine. I'm not like anti-collections, but I was just like a bit like this was too much. Let me see if I can pull. I'm going to the full list here. Tetris Forever was a collection. Legend of Zone trilogy, Worms Armageddon Anniversary Edition, Capcom Fighting Collection, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster, Dragon Quest 3 HD Remake, which granted, a lot of these I like are ones I'm like, oh, that's exciting, that's cool. The Castlevania Dominus Collection, Tales of Grace's F Remastered, I'm kind of just wrapping in remasters, and like these are like ports of old games in one fashion or another.
Yeah.
My Sims Cozy Bundle. And I feel like I'm missing some.
The Epic
There were
Mickey
like
rebrush. That's a
that's kind of more effort gone into that one. I won't include that one on the list. But yeah, it just felt like collection after collection after collection. And then when they weren't collections, they were games that I was like, eh. Like Goat Simulator 3, which I did find out there is no Goat Simulator 2. And I think that's kind of funny. They just skipped to 3 because that whole game's a joke. What else did we have in here? The Patrick Star video game, which did not look appealing to me at all. I do not care. Fitness Boxing 3, which looks exactly the same as Fitness Boxing 1 and 2. It's like no difference. I don't know. Like there was nothing in here that I was like, oh, I'm so excited for that.
not even Bunko Fusion.
They showed Funko Fusion again.
Apparently,
I blacked that out of memory. There's a new Yakuza game, but I've never played the Yakuza games. So we give that a try at some point. For fans of the Atelier series, they had a new Atelier series with a new protagonist. And yeah, Micah, there's nothing in here that I'm picking up that I'm interested in personally. How about you?
yeah, same.
I just kind of thought this was a meh. Like there was nothing like new and exciting to really pull me in. Now I'm now thinking about it, I think for fans of the Yakuza series, which is a very popular series, that was probably a good like closer, and I think that's the case. Star Overdrive looked kind of interesting, like Tony Hawk RPG in space game. But yeah, besides that, nothing really stood out to me. I'm not planning on picking up any of these collections. We've already seen the Epic Mickey rebrush and the Dragon Quest 3 HD. So I wasn't like oh yay. So yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it was very heavy on collections of classic games.
Yeah.
So it feels like, and I feel like this is indicative. I don't know if that's the right word to use here, of the games industry kind of imploding, and how all of these kind of AAA studios have laid off so much of their development teams that they don't have games to put out, and so they're just putting out collections of old games. That's how this feels. And or maybe they're holding and waiting for Switch 2 for their bigger ticket things.
For big titles, yeah.
Could be the case. So this is kind of like a send off of sorts. That's all I have to say on that on that portion of the direct. I give this a for me personally, this is a F. F tier
Wow.
direct. Yep. I'm gonna go harsh with it because it's like I literally am picking up nothing from this collection other than things that they've already announced. And I just feel like that's not a good direct. That's not a good partner showcase. If it didn't get me hyped for anything. I usually try and give. I was like, what am I doing? I was like, well, I probably maybe give this like a D. I was like, no, what? This is an F. This is an F. I didn't like it. I didn't
And
like
I'd
it at
probably give
all.
it like a C or something,
A
just
C.
because I'm not a big meanie.
What, you trying to say you're better than me?
Those weren't my words.
What were your words then? You're not a big meanie, and I am.
I said because you're a big meanie.
Oh my god, that's. I feel betrayed. Feel betrayed. Anything you were wishing was in either of these directs that wasn't there?
Metro Prime 4.
Metroid Prime 4. Even though neither of these was a first party Nintendo Direct.
Yep. It would
Where's
have been
Hollow
real
Knight
cool
Silk
though.
Song? Where's Hollow
What?
Knight Silk Song?
I don't remember any. I don't know of any game by that name.
That could have been in either of these actually, and it would have been hype in either.
I'm starting to think that game isn't real.
I don't think it is. It's made up. At least Metroid Prime 4 has a release year now.
Yep, that totally won't get delayed.
Yeah, that would be lame if it does. So I guess we'll move out of that. That was the double direct. Overall, I feel like the indie showcase hard carried this 40 minutes of stuff here.
Yeah.
And so once again, I think the partner showcase was pretty bad. Partner showcases have never really been that great. I feel like without the first party or like Nintendo published stuff, everything else by themselves just doesn't look that great. So they just I don't know. And on top of that, I can't like rag on it too bad because we have had really good third party support for the Switch overall.
Yeah.
But that wasn't shown here, I would say. So let's move on to some other news. Anything you want to highlight or talk about?
I mean, they have shown that Echoes of Wisdom will have a hero mode, higher difficulty.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. I've been
Supposedly just right off the bat.
avoiding trailers for this game.
Oh, look at that. A more difficult mode right off the bat. It's exactly what Monkey Thunder said. I don't know if that was my subconscious just quoting that.
I haven't watched any of the latest trailers for this game, but apparently there's
Yeah,
like
I
a
haven't
lot.
watched the latest one.
Yeah, there's a lot more
like you're
to it
missing.
than they showed in the initial trailer. So I'm excited.
Apparently shows off a lot. They
Uh,
showed off a little bit more of Mario and Luigi brothership.
I didn't see that. You think you're gonna get that one?
I think so, assuming I have money.
Yeah, it looks pretty fun. I do like me a good Mario RPG game. But speaking of Mario, I'm excited for Super Mario Party Jamboree. I'm pumped for that. That's coming out in another month. And they announced that Pauline was going to be a playable character. She's kind of been like on every party game this console generation.
Since Odyssey.
Yeah. Popular character. To get more female Mario characters. I guess it's like we've got Peach and Daisy and Rosalina now. But they're all pretty similar looking.
That other one.
That other one.
Toadette.
Toadette. So that's fun. Oh my gosh, I totally missed this announcement. Wizard 101 is coming to consoles. Does that include the Switch? Have you played Wizard 101 before?
I-
You haven't? I played it back in the day, like when I was in middle school, high school. It's a fun game. I remember it being fun. I haven't played it, but
Yep.
my sister continues to play it. She's played it for years and years. It's like a card-based combat game where you summon things using cards, Yu-Gi-Oh style, to fight
Nice.
in magic arenas. It's a fun multiplayer. Man, if that comes to Switch, we'll have to check that out for sure. It was free to play, at least to start. It's like free to start, but then most of the content is pay to
Didn't.
pay to play. Yeah. But I played all of the free content. They even had a back then they had a Wizards of Waverly Place crossover event.
Nice.
So they had Selena Gomez, the main.
I think so.
That's her name. Um, she was in the game and sang a song. I think had like a musical number. You had like a secret boss fight to save her or something. Don't remember it super clearly. I just remember there was a crossover event and she was in the game, and because this was like a Disney. This there were commercials for this on like Disney Channel. I remember that. But yeah, fun stuff. Anything else you want to highlight? Speaking of Wizards, Hogwarts Legacy dropped back. I don't think it's this price anymore, but it was down to $18 in the eShop. $18 for Hogwarts
Oh, yeah.
Legacy. That's a steal. That is
I
a big game.
almost thought about it.
Oh, you should have. If you were on the fence, I recommend it. I think it's great. It probably would be better
Don't
to
you
get
remember
on a
having
different
other
system.
things to do
Yeah,
at the time?
probably be better to get on a different system if you're looking for that. But for $18, that's a great game. What else we want to talk about? Talk about Emio and the Smiling Man. I haven't tried the demo for that. I kind of wanted to try the demo for it because they had a pretty robust demo available. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yep. Although I'd forgotten there was a demo for it, so I also haven't played it.
Maybe we should do that. We'll play it kind of as this could be like a Halloween thing. That would be fun. MEO, it's still up there. You can still play the demo prologue and chapter 1, and potentially a couple more chapters. I think have been added to the demo. Yeah, Famicom Detective Club making a comeback was not on my bingo card. Yep. ND Cube, the Mario Party development team, has changed their name to Nintendo Cube. So that's cool. I don't, I don't really have anything else to say about that.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to highlight?
Well, I guess we got proof that Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are outside the other Zelda timeline.
Yeah.
It's behind a little wall.
If they're not attached to the other timeline at all, and it's like they didn't put Echoes of Wisdom on the timeline either, and that's what this whole thing was promoting that they showed this at. Who knows, man? Who knows? I feel like it would be fun to figure out how things fit together. Maybe that's a future PAL topic where me and you kind of go, this one fits here, and we scrap their timeline and make our own timeline entirely.
Don't think it'll be too accurate. least
Well,
my
no, obviously not, but they don't
input
care.
wouldn't
They
be.
don't care. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we could do a better job. I mean, you could do a better job just by like having them in a list and then stacking them next to each other. They've done like nothing to make it make sense. I think for me that's kind of it for news that
That you care about.
I care about. Well, just posted breaking news from Monkey Thunder. Posted this post from Stealth over on Twitter. Says Aonuma says that Tears of the Kingdom almost had a different name. Tears of the Dragon was the working title until someone else came up with Kingdom. Tears of the Dragon. He was concerned Dragon might tip people off about one of the game's major twists. You know the one. So that's what they were talking about when they were like, we can't tell you the title.
Yeah. It's
And,
like we changed it.
Yeah, that is that's fair. If it had been called Tears of the Dragon, I feel like that might have tipped people spoilery for several reasons. And then people would have been like, "Oh, what do the dragons have to do with it?" And they would have dove in on the lore, which Tears of the Kingdom you didn't. There was nothing in
What
there.
kingdom's been crying?
Yeah,
Don't get
nothing.
it.
Well, nothing in there really prepared me for the final plot twist. I guess it was hinted towards, but I still remember just being like, okay, spoilers for anybody that hasn't beat Tears of the Kingdom yet. I'm gonna talk about this, so skip ahead. But when Ganondorf goes dragon mode, that was wild. I was like, that was a twist. I wasn't expecting that.
Hmm.
At least going into the fight. But when he goes, like rips the thing off his head, I'm like, oh shoot, oh no, oh no. It's pretty epic, pretty exciting.
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty good, pretty good. All right. Do you have anything else to say for the news section?
Nope.
All right. Well, with that, then I think we can move to the next segment of our show, which do we have anything you want to talk about? Nah, I don't think there's not really any rumors that are.
Nintendo's been spending a bunch of money. R&D.
What are they doing over there? What's going on? Well,
You may
then
never know.
let's move to the community corner. Psych, the community corner is dead. That's right. We are getting rid of this segment entirely. We'll still respond to and answer questions as they come. But we are now going to be doing a new segment on our show, and we're calling it the secret segment. And that's because it's going to be rotating each week. You listeners can suggest segments for us to talk about. We'll dedicate a full section of the podcast to talk about what you'd like us to talk about. Join up our Discord where you can suggest a segment over there. And we're going to be seeing these. I think the plan is for these to all be secret. So we'll be seeing these for the first time right now. And so we have some suggestions from Muggles Moo. So we'll just go off of one of these suggestions. And the first suggestion is Nintendo's most memorable boss fights. Explore the best and most challenging boss fights across Nintendo franchises. Whether it's Ganon, Bowser, or Ridley, what makes these battles stand out and how have they evolved over time? Micah, what would you say is the most memorable boss fight for you in Nintendo games.
Well, definitely recency bias, but it's probably Ravenbeak. And that's
Oh,
a
that's
good chunk of that is probably also because of my minimum item run, where you have to dodge his shooting in a circle without the ability to jump over his head, essentially. And you do that by doing very specific things in very specific situations.
yeah, kind of crazy.
It's like a real hassle to learn.
But also that whole
Like
that whole twist
all the
ending.
boss fights were a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Z57 was probably my next most memorable in that game.
Um, I'd say Tears of the Kingdom. The boss fight was really, really good, really fun, and there's been a lot of like across the Zelda series. All the Ganondorf fights I think end up being pretty
Like
epic and
Wind
fun.
Waker. A little
Wind
nostalgia, but I've
Wind
I
Waker's
for some
great.
reason really like the puppet parts when you find the puppet things, and also, I mean, there's like the cliche. There's the shadow appearing, so you know the boss is going to jump on you. So you got to run to the side. But in Wind Waker, they had like a puddle of water, and you could see the reflection of the person about to jump down on you,
Yeah,
and
yeah. The
it's just
the
really cool.
the puppets, and then the epic fight with him on the roof of the tower or whatever you're on.
Or yeah, I
That was
feel like
really
that's the best just solo. Like it's just Ganondorf and you, kind of. Like he's not in some crazy form.
yeah. Oh, I really liked Tears of the Kingdoms
Yeah, Tears of the
one on
Kingdoms was also
one on
really
one,
good for sure.
especially when he like does a flurry rush dodge.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was so unexpected. He's the only enemy in the game that does that, and it's like so. So you've played what
It's your move,
70,
stealing your
70,
move.
yeah, 70 plus hours of the game, and you get to there, and it's like he can do what you can do. You're like, oh shoot, this is real. And then he says, "Pathetic," as he
Yeah,
dodges.
as he gets spanked though. Unfortunately, I mean, because I feel like me and I'm sure a lot of other people had put a lot of time into the game before fighting him. I
Yeah,
felt just maybe a little overpowered.
yeah. I recommend
He's
going
like
in.
all high and mighty, and I'm just like smoking him in every like phase.
Yeah, I
He's like,
recommend going in
"This is
there
nothing."
at an earlier stage than I mean, if you go through and you kind of like what I did for my first initial playthrough was just go through and do all the dungeons. Don't really focus on shrines, but just kind of explore and light going in there. It was a hard fight. It was a hard fight.
Yeah,
I I I definitely needed to leave and gear up and come back. So there's I recommend it playing it that way because I think that's more fun than coming in when you're just super OP.
end game, your armor is like upgraded all the way.
Yeah, I didn't have any upgraded armor when I first went in there. But then what I don't recommend is trying to defeat Ganondorf with only bees. I don't recommend that. I cannot stress enough that that was not
But you
fun.
managed to do it, right?
I did do it. Yep. It took like 5 hours of swinging a beehive weapon to summon bees to attack him. It was so awful. It was horrible. Yeah.
Sounds awesome. Sounds like what you need to try next. So something that'd be less horrible is a Metroid Dread minimum item run.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I do not want to play that.
But what if other people want to watch you play that?
It's just you. I think you're the only person that wants
I'm
to
pretty
watch.
sure there are like a bunch of people that
I'm
want to
pretty
see
sure
you
it's
do
just
that.
you. Nobody else has
Because
ever
I mean,
asked me to play
that's not true.
Metroid Dread minimum item.
I know at least one other person in our community has.
Oh,
Don't remember who it was.
is his name Other Micah? Micah's alt account?
No, it's a actually just other M.
Other M. Micah Other M. That should be the name of your channel, not Micah Prime.
It really
Micah
should have
Other
been. It
M.
really should have been.
Oh man. Um Other boss fights that are memorable. I want to throw out Pokemon Trainer Red in the end game
Yeah.
of Gold, Silver, Crystal. That's a pretty hype fight.
That's a good one. Yeah.
A good twist fight too, where it's like, oh, this is the player character from the first game. Man, so I want to throw that one out there. I mentioned the Tears of the Kingdom boss. I would say that the Breath of the Wild boss fight little underwhelming for the bosses in that game. I think Tears of the Kingdom overall just had way better bosses.
Yeah.
I really like Twilight Princess's final boss fight, and actually all the bosses in that game. I feel like there was a good variety. Do you remember fighting the skeleton dragon on
Nope.
the top of your Beyblade item that you ride around?
And is there sand?
Yeah,
Is it that
yeah.
one?
He's like a skeleton
Yeah,
dragon
dude.
head that like chases you around. And then there's another one where you just fight straight up a dragon in the sky and you use the double claw shot. Oh, that's a good one. I feel like Zelda just has like really iconic and memorable bosses just throughout their whole series. God, I'm blanking. I'm trying to think to other games in the series.
I can't think of good boss fights when I'm on the spot.
Ocarina of Time. You've got Shadow Link, Dark Link.
That's not a good fight. That's a horrible fight.
What do you mean? What do you mean? That's a great fight.
That fight is obnoxious.
It was pretty insane. I'm really hoping they
Thousand Year Door, the main boss. I remember being memorable.
the main boss.
Yeah,
I
the door, the dark lady thing that then
I don't
possesses
remember it.
Peach and
I don't remember
things.
that being like that crazy, but the other bosses in that game were really good. I just don't remember that one that much. I like the dragon fights. You can do like 3 of them, I think.
Yeah, those were good. I remember it being difficult back in the day.
You don't like the Shadow Link fight? Dark Link fight? Really?
No.
For real? How about Dark
That
Ganon?
fight's-
Like the Ghost Ganondorf where he's jumping in and out of the pictures?
That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
How about when you play tennis with
Probably
him?
better than the actual main fight.
Where you play tennis with him and hitting the light ball back and forth?
Don't you also do that in the Dark Ganon fight? Is that just in?
I think it's just in the final fight. I don't remember that being in the Dark Ganon fight.
Interesting.
But I'm
Yeah,
trying
I
to think
don't
of all
remember very well.
the bosses. There's obviously Goma, the spider. It's like been in a bunch of the games. Dude, Skyward Sword had really good boss fights. I remember the giant tentacle monster, and you're fighting like on a pirate ship.
I don't remember that.
Don't remember that one.
My memory is very bad.
They've just had good boss fights. Period. Even like the original Zelda had. You've got the Gleeok that you fight, the three-headed monster in the very first dungeon. All those bosses are pretty iconic. But Ocarina of Time's probably the best one, I think. I'm just kidding. You're
for which fight in Ocarina of Time?
For all the boss fights. It's just like the best boss battle game.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing to think. Very interesting thing to think.
I thought I liked him. I think the Dark Link fight is iconic. Fighting Majora is pretty iconic.
I mean, so iconic I don't even remember it being a thing.
Well, you haven't beat Majora's Mask.
Haven't I?
Did you?
Probably not.
I was like that would be news to me if you did. Because you didn't really seem like you were enjoying yourself with that one.
Nah, yeah, I don't know. I just couldn't quite get into it. I always told myself I was going to go back and finish it though, and then I haven't.
Well, it's maybe you need to play Ocarina of Time again to remember how
I
much
don't.
you love that
No.
whole era.
Nope. Not needed.
Who was I talking to? This was a coworker that was like, "Oh, that game's so overhyped for sure." It's like, no, it's not. It's just
Yes,
good.
it is. Yes, it is. It's wildly overhyped.
But this same
People act like
coworker,
if people act like if that game came out today for the first time, that everyone would love it. That game would get slammed so hard if it came out today.
I mean, but it didn't come out today. You can't say
Yeah,
that.
exactly. But that's odd. But people act like if it came out today, they would love it. They'd be like, "This is the best game ever," and it's like, no, you wouldn't.
I don't believe it. I believe that it would do just fine. I don't know. Other boss fights you want to talk about?
With Metroid Prime,
Yeah,
all the
really?
boss fights, every single one, fantastic.
Every single one.
Every single one of the boss fights. I remember them all. Every single one of them so clearly.
Yeah. I remember the boss fights in Metroid being really good for the 2D Metroid games that I've played. Because I did complete Metroid Fusion on NSO, and I liked that. Those were all pretty fun boss battles. Obviously, Metroid Dread had really good boss fights. I'm trying to think.
Yes.
I'm trying to think what other games. Gotta look at my Switch library. Splatoon, I feel like had some good boss battles.
Oh yeah, Splatoon 3. That final boss battle
That
was pretty
final,
sweet.
yeah, that final boss battle was pretty cool. I wish I'm trying to think like memorable wise. I feel like Divinity Original Sin 2, we really liked some of those boss battles, but I cannot right now put
The fight to get
me
off
on
the
the
island.
spot.
Like,
I can't remember
the only one I
any of the
remember.
bosses in that game. Yeah, I remember I remember what's her name? The Hammer. But
it's not Dalinar. Dallas.
Dallas. Yeah, I wanted to say Dalinar too. That's so funny.
I knew it was something like that.
How do you feel about Mario boss battles?
I mean, they're usually good.
Yeah,
Like a lot of the time, I like boss battles to give a challenge, which isn't generally what you go to Mario for.
right. There's some
But I feel like they're always a good
they're all
times.
pretty straightforward, but I think their boss design is really good. For
Yeah.
almost all the 3D Mario games, they have some really cool and unique and fun boss battles. Sometimes I feel like they cut corners. Like I feel strongly like they did that for Mario Wonder. Like there was not really unique boss battles for Mario Wonder.
Yeah, but that's kind of how 2D Marios are.
Yeah.
Like they're
Okay, go to
about as
Mario
unique as you get for a 2D Mario. Like,
Mario
except for that conveyor
3.
belt. That was just lame.
That was so dumb. Mario 3. It's like Nintendo World Championships NES edition has like every boss battle.
Every boss battle.
And I'm like, all of these are the same. I don't feel like they're
if you hit them fast, they're all the same fight. Like
yeah, but what the only difference is the thing they throw is like a different shape or whatever. I feel like it's not really that different.
Yeah.
There's the one that like jumps on a ball. That's different. That's the only one that's different. And it just they feel too samey, the Koopa kids.
Yeah.
But 3D Mario always has like really cool, fun boss battles. Dude, shout out to Mario Odyssey for throwing in just a real dragon, a real like a hyper realistic dragon
Yeah.
randomly in the middle of the game. You're like, what? What is this? We can't talk about iconic boss battles without mentioning Master Hand, I think. Master
But
Hand
more importantly,
and
Crazy
Crazy
Hand.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are good. I mean that's iconic. Staple to the series. And then I want to circle back one more time to Mario. Mario Galaxy had one of the coolest Bowser boss battle endings. Maybe it's just the music that does it for me. It's like very epic and orchestral. But you're doing what you do in every 3D Mario game: grab him by the tail and spin him, and throw him off. But yeah, that was a really good version of that, I guess. I'm trying to think, is there any other like boss battle type things we want to highlight or hit up?
It's like I'm sure there are more, but do I remember them off the top of my head? No.
Yeah, I'm like, well, I guess we can toss the question out to the community. What boss battles did we miss that you want us to talk about? I feel like I have a limited scope on the library on my current Switch. I have so many games, but I got one. We got to talk about Matt from Wii Sports. How he was like the final
Kind of
fight,
iconic.
the final fight in
For the-
every Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort game was him. I don't even know why, but he's just like
He's just so good at sports.
yeah. Well, and he's like the trainer in the mini games too. So it's like, oh shoot, it's him, the one who's been training
The
us
master.
all along. Yeah.
And finally the student becomes the master.
And I'm not like super familiar with Kirby boss battles, but I feel like they're all pretty iconic too. He always ends up fighting some eldritch monster for the final fight that's like horrifying and like galaxy ripping.
Yeah.
In Kirby and the Forgotten Land, he like basically fights Mewtwo. It's straight up it's straight up a clone of like a little Mew like creature that is like humanoid and crazy powerful. And you flip and drive a bus into it to defeat it in the end. It's so intense and insane and over the top. I actually love it.
Nothing can overcome Truck Coon or Bus Coon or whatever
Yeah,
that.
truly the craziest villain in all of
anime.
all of anime. All right. Well, thank you so much for the suggested segment. If you would like to suggest a segment for the secret segment, you can join up our Discord. All right. I said that weird. You can join up our Discord for the spot to do that. And with that, Micah, I think we move on to the next segment of our show, which is Last Week We Asked You.
Mm.
Isn't that the community corner sound effect? I thought we had a different bumper for that.
That's the stuff you're making segment. I don't think we actually have one. How do you feel about the pal topic segment?
I do like that Um, did you? So I have a question for you. Did you forget that you had to do a sound effect, or did you just not know which one to push?
I just didn't know which one to push. I keep forgetting I don't have one titled. Last week we asked you.
Yeah,
Or there's always the my favorite soundbite.
Metroid Dread est ludus frustrans e laboriosus. Mundus eius obscurus e inextricabilis est, ubi omnia pericula minantur. Cuncta in hoc ludo sunt difficultate et incommodo
This is
plena.
so long.
Adventura tibi
It's so much longer than I remembered.
Gaudium afferet.
Gaudium.
Well, last week we asked you. It's been a bit. It's actually been a month, and we haven't asked any question. So I'm only jumping us over to this segment so that we can ask a question. And what is the question? Well, we're actually going to forward out this question that was asked to us by Preston from Off the Wall, who asked, what game are you the second most excited for before the end of the year? And Micah, I'm turning the question to you right now. What game are you the second most excited for before the end of the year? This is an
tough.
Easy answer for me.
Easy.
Yeah. I think for me it's going to be Super Mario Party Jamboree.
Interesting. I might have to say Echoes of Wisdom.
What's first?
I have a real hankering for some good old Mario and Luigi brothership.
Really? Okay.
It's been so long, but I mean, Bowser's Inside Story back on the DS, fantastic.
Well, shoot, I didn't realize you were that hyped for that game.
Right? It's just been a long time. But I mean, Echoes of Wisdom also looks really cool and pretty unique.
Yeah. That's the one I'm obviously most excited for.
Yeah.
But second most excited for Super Mario Party Jamboree. And the reason I'm excited for that one, and I know you're not, but I am excited for it, is because it looks like it's going to be a combination of the last two games, which is Super Mario Party and Mario Party Superstars. So it's going to have a little bit of old mixed with new. It looks like it's going to utilize more of the Joy-Con functionality. And yeah, I really like both of those Mario Party games. I know it's those have gotten kind of mixed reviews, but I really liked both Super Mario Party and Mario Party Superstars. I've never not liked Mario Party except for 9 and 10. I didn't like those. The car messed things up, man.
Yeah, I think they're all fun. I just prefer if other people buy Mario Party games and then I play theirs with them on occasion.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. So yeah, that's this next week's question for you is, what game are you second most excited for before the end of the year? Excited to hear some of the answers here. I don't think we'll have a whole lot of overlap. I mean, there will be some, but I think there's going to be a good variety here because I think most of the time when you get to that like top favorite, a lot of people agree. It's like, oh, this is the big ticket game. But then the second thing you're looking most forward to.
Yeah, the further down you go, the less agreement.
Yeah, for sure. So now I suppose it's time for the PAL topic. Today's PAL topic, Micah. I'm going to reveal to you what the secret game was, the secret thing was that I talked about at the beginning of the episode, because I just got a bingo. That's right. I've been playing Micah Bingo this whole episode. I wish I could show you, but the bingo that I got is I'm better than Andros.
When did I say that?
It was when we were talking about I didn't mark down, but it was when we were talking about NES World Championships at the very beginning.
So all those times where I did better than you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Forgets to do a sound effect, but you did. You got that one right at the end for me, so appreciate that.
I don't know if I forgot to do a sound effect. I mostly forgot that the PAL topic was a segment we still had, so I was thinking like, oh wait, I did the PAL topic for the last segment, which you don't actually have a sound for.
Well, it's okay because I think I got double bingo actually. So then I have the free space, which was just yup, pretty good.
Yeah. I didn't want to say yep too much because I knew it had something to do with me saying yep.
I really did. Okay. And then
There are
next
a couple times where like I could say yep here, but I'm not going to.
the next one was Metroid. Mention
a bunch.
Metroid Prime 4, which
barely got that for you.
and then the next one was
I think I only did that once.
Mention Ganondorf. Other spots that I was able to get were tell Andros to play a game, disrespect Fire Emblem fans, disrespect Xenoblade
Wait, what game
fans.
did I tell you to play?
Metroid Dread with minimum item.
Does that count?
That does count. You told me to play it.
I told you to play in a specific way.
This specific dialogue. Do you have anything else to say? And you respond with nope. That
I mean, that's a gimme.
I played Rocket League and Splatoon. Ocarina of Time slander. Late to recording.
Hey, but to be fair,
that was on the board. I got that one before we even started.
To be fair, I think you brought up Ocarina of Time first, so
I did. I was trying to get you to slander Ocarina of Time for the bingo board. I'll admit it. That was the only time I tried to do anything.
And to be fair, you were just as late to recording as I was, because I got here.
I didn't. This wasn't a bingo board for me. This was a bingo board for you. You were late to recording, and I think that's it.
Oh, that's not even that many.
No, it really isn't.
What were some of the other ones?
Mentioning eating ramen or McChickens. Camera glitches out, which I didn't notice this time.
I think that happened.
Yeah. Saying dingus. Mentioning pickleball. Talking about hating cheese.
That stuff does suck.
Shocked face. And yeah, you didn't do that this time, which is surprising. I think I'm shocked by that. Rubbing your chin in contemplation, which you're doing now, but you didn't do the entire episode.
It's not actually in contemplation. It's just I have a little bit of gruff.
I know. Disappointed in Andros, which you weren't disappointed in me this episode, which is a first. I think it's very rare. Saying that's garbage. And mentioning ice climbers, forgetting it's your turn to talk, and
I never forget.
And it's saying, like the long.
I think I did do that once, actually.
You did? I don't think you did. But I got a bingo. Got a bingo. So this is one idea that I had for basically a thing to do while podcasting. So we're going to be doing these. We've gotten a lot of feedback where people enjoy our episodes where we're doing something while podcasting, like baking, carving pumpkins, making. We tend to do it for holidays, but we're going to try and do more things like that are things that we can reasonably do while podcasting, like this bingo board. I thought that was a pretty good one, and we'll be so stay tuned for a episode that is different every single time, because we'll have some different thing going on. That being said, Micah, I think that's gonna do it for this episode. Kind of a cop out for a pal topic because I didn't have a pal topic. If I'm being honest here, but it was fun to do the bingo board. I thought about it before we started, you making a bingo board for me and me doing a bingo board for you, but then
But
we would
then I would know not to
then you
do
would
certain things.
exactly.
I was already suspicious. I'm trying not to say yep too many times.
Yeah. Did you have any idea what was going on? You just were like, nope, don't say yep too many times. Am I gonna count up how
Nope.
many times you say yep?
I was like, my first thought was like, I wonder if this is some sort of like drinking game spinoff where every time I say yep, something happens. Where you're just counting up
That
how
would
many
be
times. Like,
that would be very funny. I have on the side here, I just drink water every time you say yep.
yeah, I was like, I was.
But the plan, my thought process for these episode themes is sometimes it'll be secret, which means we didn't plan something. No, but it'll be like some theme or rule or thing that will change each episode. Yeah, 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 yeah. With that all being said, Micah, let's close out the episode. Where can people find you on the interwebs?
At Micah Prime, technically, on YouTube or Twitch. Maybe just Twitch, but I don't think I have anything there. So,
and then we can also you can also find Micah here on Nintendo Pals and on all the Nintendo Pals social medias. Maybe that's what you should shout out. If you could be the one to
probably
follow the show. This is where I am. You are on here every week.
Yeah, you can find me here.
And you can also find me gallivanting about over on Andros One. This month is September, and my goal is to get 10,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. So please, I am asking every single person I know, and that includes you, listener, to subscribe to me on YouTube. Andros One. You can't miss it. It's me. I'm wearing a Tingle head suit thing.
Yeah, it's Andros and the number 1, not spelled out.
Yeah. Yep. Andros and the number 1. It would be just Andros, but someone took that already. And would you believe it if I told you there is no Star Fox channel? I'm sure there is, but there's not like a big Star Fox channel. There is Andros channels, tons of Andros channels, but not many Star Fox channels, which I think is a win for Andros and Andros kind.
Nice to at least get one win.
Huge shout out and thank you as well to our fantastic Patreon community. We appreciate and want to say thank you, and also want to give a huge shout out to our newest patron. That's Preston from Off the Wall. Hey, everybody, go check out Off the Wall, Nintendo Podcast, Gaming Corner Podcast. He's in so many projects now, man. He's everywhere. You can listen to him all over the place. Huge thanks for supporting our show, Presto. But also I'm gonna shout out off our list here. We have T-Bone, Nick Lanoy, Fedorable Will, Monkey Thunder, Madison, aka Purple Riolu, Lava Plays, John Cummins from Retro Logic and the Retro Rewind podcast, Lil Miss 7, Tim A, aka I butchered your name, Tim. Good grief. Tim A, aka Neoprime 33, aka Nindad number 4. He has the longest name in the list. Actually, Presto the Magnificent, parentheses off the wall, may be longer. You guys are duking it out for the longest.
But which
title.
one of those rolls off the tongue?
How funny would that be if everybody goes in and changes their names to be super long to make their shout out even longer? Seth Sturgill, aka $2 Hero, LPD, Spider Shan, and last but certainly not least, one of my favorite people on the internet. It's Mute Dog the Gamer. Thank you guys so much for supporting us over on Patreon. Hey, if you're out there and you have $1 or you $40 or however much money you would like to throw our direction because you take pity upon poor souls like ourselves, you can check out our Patreon, patreon.com/NintendoPals, where for as little as $1, you can support the craziness that comes with this show. And we will be back next week. Remember the next week's question is, what game are you looking forward to second most? And Micah, close us out here with a wise word of wisdom. I didn't have that on my bingo board, actually. I should have put that on here. Would have been a freebie.
Me forgetting to have words ready.
Yes, but also just doing the words of wisdom. But I feel like I didn't put anything in here that was a guarantee except for the yup, pretty good, which was the free space.
Well, I just looked up wise words, and all these are lame.
Don't you usually use Brandon Sanderson quotes?
I do, but I've used so many, I don't remember which ones I haven't used, so I need extra time.
Time to pull out some new quotes.
I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed.
Whoa.
Michael Jordan.
Or Thomas Edison. Or me. That sounds like me. I fail over and over and over again. Well, that's been this episode of Nintendo Pals. Thank you so much for listening. Peace out.